In this Resident Evil Requiem video, I've got more details to share with you guys that recently got revealed at the Capcom Spotlight. So I've compiled all the details that Resident Evil Requiem confirmed during the latest Capcom presentation. We now know more about its protagonist, the origin of the title, and more. Resident Evil Requiem is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated games of next year. The new installment in Capcom Saga is set to release on February 27, 2026. But there are still many details to uncover about this continuation of Resident Evil Village. The recent Capcom Spotlight offered several intriguing insights that help us better understand Resident Evil Requiem, also referred to as Resident Evil 9. So here I've gathered the most relevant information you need to know if you want to stay up to date ahead of launch. The game's producer, Masato Kumazawa, and other key team members such as Koshi Nakanishi, the director of this new entry, spoke about the game. For example, we now know why Leon Kennedy is not the protagonist of Requiem, but beyond that, we also learned why the game is called Requiem, why Grace is the face of the game, and why we're returning to Raccoon City after so many years. While the development team made it clear that the full meaning behind the title will only be revealed once the game is completed, they did offer some insight into why they chose the name, related to the liturgical process the word represents. The title has many layers: a requiem for the protagonist Grace Ashcroft, who is coping with the loss of her mother 8 years ago, and a requiem for all those affected by the Raccoon City incident, to name just a few examples. According to the devs, fans of the series may recognize the Ashcroft family name from Resident Evil Outbreak. The reasons for making Grace the protagonist are clear: familiarity with Raccoon City and a personal connection that resonates with players. When creating a story set in the ruins of Raccoon City, we felt it was appropriate to have a character with a personal link to the city. In this horror-focused title, we present Grace as a new, relatable protagonist, unlike past leads like Leon or Chris, the producer explained. So Grace is essentially designed to reflect a player's vulnerability. Now, she's not a soldier, but someone who could be any of us when walking alone down a dark corridor. Her breathing becomes erratic when an enemy jumps out. She's visibly startled. Things like that. At first, Grace will be a character you with very low tolerance to fear, but as she faces horrors, we'll witness her growth and transformation in response to the threats she encounters. It's been many years since we last set foot in the iconic city that was the backdrop for some of the series' most beloved entries. While Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remakes brought us back, Requiem marks a very different kind of return. Capcom notes that Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village aim to broaden the scope of the series' world, but this new title seeks to return to the main storyline that made the franchise what it is today. With Resident Evil Requiem, we want to pick up a story that continues the core narrative centered around Raccoon City and Umbrella Corporation's secret machinations. As we celebrate the series' 30th anniversary, we believe Raccoon City is the most fitting setting, the dev stated. Each Resident Evil installment has brought its own theme and ideas. Now it's Requiem's turn, and Capcom is building this title around a very specific philosophy. It all comes down to a more primal kind of fear, the kind that truly grips you. The game's concept is addictive fear, that feeling of experiencing something terrifying, yet you can't stop. You need to know what happens next. Fear is something players typically adapt to over time, but with this game, the team has been more aware than ever of maintaining a constant sense of tension throughout the experience. The reason for this approach is that recent entries like Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 4, while still horror titles, leaned heavily into action. With this latest entry, developers wanted to return to a game with a strong focus on terror, which I am all for. And indeed, this new Resident Evil promises to bring us back to pure survival horror in both first and third person perspectives. That is amazing. The fact we can change this out, I believe you have to go in the menu though. You have to pause it. It's not like a natural thing where you can just hit a button real quick to change. I wish they would implement that. Maybe they will before it launches, or maybe they'll have to do it in a post-launch type of update. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Now, with Leon being confirmed not as being a playable character or protagonist, that doesn't necessarily, keep him out of being out of the game entirely, because let's be real, it's Raccoon City, right? You got to have Leon there. You got to have Jill as well. So my speculation, my theory is they will be in the game, just not playable. Maybe support characters. Or the other theory is we play as Grace mainly right throughout the game, and maybe we'll get a section as Leon because he's more the action hero type. He's not going to be scared easily, by stuff going on here. He's used to stuff. So I think we might get something like how Resident Evil Village was, where you got to play as Chris towards the end of it, the section there. I think we're going to have something like that, possibly as Leon or Jill, or both. Who knows? Because Resident Evil has always been known to be a series where we play as multiple protagonists, at least two, ever since Resident Evil 1. So it just makes sense we'd be able to play as Leon and maybe have Jill in there too, and so, on some level, because she also has connection to Raccoon City. If not Jill, then Claire. Get Claire back in there too. Like, why not? You know, get the whole band back together. Maybe even Chris. We'll see. We'll see. Personally, I would love if they resurrected Wesker. I know not everybody's a fan of Wesker, but man, I don't know. Like, he's just my favorite villain and a lot of people's favorite villain. And it's just, there just hasn't been a really, I feel like, standout villain. I'll take that back. Dummy Mommy in the last game, Village. I'll take that back. But, you know, but besides her being like sexualized, over sexualized, because that's what people do, in terms of like actually good written villain in the series, I don't know, to me, there hasn't been one since Wesker. And I miss that element. I miss having a really great overall villain that, you know, has lasted or will last the test of time in terms of being in multiple entries of the series, not just one and done type of thing in a game. So we'll see what happens with this. I will keep you guys updated. More information comes out because I love Resident Evil. It's my favorite horror franchise when it comes to video games. And I will definitely be bringing more updates on this as soon as I learn more. What do you guys think about this, though? Sound off in the comments below. Are you excited for this game coming out, especially after learning more details about it in this video? And I hope you did enjoy this video and learn something. If you did, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.